Welcome to the bedroom and beyond. So today I just wanted to touch on what the heck is this channel and what is it about? There's so many elements to this channel and why I'm speaking out about it. First of all, it was designed to see the love within yourself, the common things that we deal with on a daily basis. So you could be dealing with something in the bedroom with your partner or self, have a trigger or a breakdown, not know what's going on, and try to carry on about your day. And beyond that, you realize you act the same. Your being is the same as it showed up in this triggered response. So even though I'm fearing having sex with my partner for the first time, that same fear, that same feeling could show up when I make a decision, or when I go to swipe my credit card, or having a difficult conversation with a family member. So there is always a connection anywhere and everywhere in life. And this is what this channel is about. It's how you do one thing is how you do everything, how to combat the fear, how to be confident in self. It's about mindset shifting and energetics, and also mindfulness, and also sex magic and pleasure empowerment, and just being who you are for yourself in the most authentic way. There is healing, there's embodiment practices, there's the duality, which is like, I can be grieving something so horrible, or even just noticing the state of the world and how awful it's been, and still be okay and still be happy about something else, and holding both, the duality, holding both at the same time. It's about relationships, how you relate to yourself, how you relate to other people. It's about conscious communication, loving detachment, all these beautiful things. Wellness in your mind, in your body, in your spirit. There's mental health. There's just saying yes to yourself and saying no to other people, gaining confidence, how to just overall be who you are meant to be in this planet, not as a conditioned sense, not the way you think you should be, but the way you ought to be because you said so. So realistically, it's all about self authenticity. And when we can get to the core, the root of why things are happening or why we are the way we are, and knowing that we have choice to change it or not, like it's up to you, it just brings freedom. And I think this is the whole point of the channel, is to create freedom within self, freedom within your relationships, and freedom in whatever you're dealing with, whether it's a friend, a family member, a partner, your own negative ego, and how to create ourselves day by day, bit by bit, into this person that we want to be, even if it seems like absolutely hopeful, or hopeless, I should say. Hopeful, yeah, we want to be hopeful. But this is the thing. It's like, the more we stay quiet about these topics, about these ways of being, and just like hush hush or avoidant or like sweeping things under the rug, the more things will stay the same. Now, that's not awful, but it's not great. And for me, I would love to see people thrive in life other than just surviving. And how we thrive is we speak out, we speak our truth, we get to the bottom of what is important to us. How do we best serve other people at the same time serving myself? Because if I'm empty, there is nothing I can give to other people, even if I tried. The universe will find a way to make you sit there and think and contemplate, whether that's breaking your leg or getting a disease or something to occupy your time that's taking you away from what you thought you should be doing. It's all connected. And I think this is the biggest piece, is about connection, deep, deep connection, not only to yourself, but like connecting the dots of like why things happened, even from your past, and how we can actually pivot and make that an empowered state of mind versus like, woe is me, this happened to me in my past. Okay, great. You learned something from that. At least I hope you did. And if you didn't, well, the universe is going to give you the same lesson again and again in different situations and different people. So the bedroom and beyond is like, how can I give back to, how can I serve myself? How can I like embody and be essential and accepting of self first? And then beyond that is like how it shows up in other ways, in other people, in other relationships. Yes, how we do one thing is how we do everything. And at the same time, who you're being is dictating everything around you. So even though I view the world in such a way, maybe it's a negative way. If I chose to be a positive person every single day of my life, eventually that would just be my neutral. Eventually. It's not an overnight thing. It does require you to do the work day in and day out, but it doesn't have to be a grind. It doesn't have to be difficult. It just needs your conscious effort to say, this is who I am today. This is what I get to do today. This is who I am being today. And eventually things will start to unfold and you'll actually start to recognize the gifts. And even if it's a shit sandwich, as my mentor says, you will still be able to move on and get past things. Still being responsible that you're human and you have emotions and you have things and activations or triggers, if you want to call them that. And it's just a place to look. The only meaning we ever have about anything is the meaning that we give it as humans. Nothing actually happens in reality. People say words, I get hurt. Okay. Why am I hurt? Because I made it mean something about myself. Even if it wasn't intentional, it can still hurt, yes. But we need to start to understand for ourselves where that comes from so we can finally be free. There's that free word, free from the constructs of our mind, from the things that we make mean things, from our old patterns just going over and over and over and over again in different ways. And then, of course, we get to have some sexy, sensual fun because let's be honest, things that happen in the bedroom are pretty racy sometimes. So I invite you to really get into yourself and see what it is that you truly want. Maybe some topics on here may resonate with you because they get to be sexy and racy and all the things. But I also want to offer the other side of things, what's happening in the background, what's happening in our psyche to suggest why I feel empowered to be a sensual being or why I don't. Or, maybe there are some religious views or cultural views that have shaped the way you look at the world. And now there's nothing wrong with those things. But if you want to go places where that isn't the norm, you're going to bump up against, oh, I feel weird. I feel awkward. I'm not fitting in. And what we really want to realize is that belonging is where we want belonging, because it's this deep resonance in your heart where you feel like you belong somewhere, as opposed to fitting in is just like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, so to speak. It's difficult. And then you just perpetuate the loop of why you can't do something or why you're not good enough, or however it sounds for you. So I just want this to be like an open communication. If anything resonates for you, please reach out. I would love to dive deeper into those things that maybe I said one thing, or maybe there's a particular video. They're like, yes, this is for me. I also want to hear on topics that you would love to hear about, because I'm only in my own brain. Let's be honest. If I didn't get curious about what's going on with you, what am I doing? Not everyone wants to hear what I have to say. And at the same time, there's so many similar beings or views out there that would resonate. So I feel called to talk about this, to reach out and say, yes, I am a trained tantrika, and tantra is the cornerstone of why I started this in the first place, is how to connect your sexuality with your spirituality. But I'm also a mindset coach, and I just want this beautiful space to combine both modalities, because I really truly believe you cannot have just mindset work or just embodiment pieces. There needs to be a connection. There needs to be an intention behind that, and start to speak out about what's important so we're heard. Because there's so many things that are uncertain in this world. There's a lot of pain in this world, but I want you to know that the suffering part is optional. And how we don't suffer anymore is by fixing this. So you can move in and out of relationships. You can move in and out of situations with ease, with confidence, with freedom. Freedom, freedom, freedom. I think this is the key word today is freedom. And for me, it's just growing up, I was very lonely. I was one of those people that tried to fit in. I was always the black sheep. I was the oddball. I was like the eccentric self, and that's actually something I'm working on with my coaching is like, how do I empower people to be eccentric? How do I empower them to be who they are without minding what people think, what people say? It's actually none of our business. Because when people attack you and people say things about you, it's everything to do with them and pretty much nothing to do with you. You're just kind of in the line of fire, if that makes sense. So this is where I'm going. This is what I want to do is just be really responsible for getting to the bottom of why things happen, why we do what we do, why do we shun ourselves away or make ourselves wrong or just allow the negative mindset to overtake what's right there waiting for us to just grab onto, but it's just at a different frequency. That's all it is. Everything in the universe is created as an equal, as a whole, which means everything exists at the same time. The good, the bad, the right, the wrong, the up, the down. It's the polarity. It's that duality piece again. It's like you can't have one without the other. And how do you walk with that? How do you choose which side you want to be on at any given moment? So my invitation is to check it out. Check it out. See if it resonates. And if it doesn't, God bless. Go out there, find what works for you. But what I don't want people to do is just like, oh, cool, that's a nice story. There is some piece, there is some element in what I say that could benefit you. Maybe not right now, but one day you'll go, oh, this is like that lady said on that channel. And my hope is that you find your path, your journey. I came from a very strong mental health upbringing. So sister suffering from a lot of mental health issues. My family was deemed very depressed and all the things. And I fell trapped to it. Just being on a low vibration for quite some time after my father passed away. And it didn't kind of come out till years later for me to feel the depths of depression and anxiety and having suicidal thoughts and all those things. So like that was always my base, was to get the mind right. And now this is never going to be a substitute for medical advice. And if you are one of those people right now that do need medical attention as far as your depression and anxiety and all those things, and you need to be medicated, please do that. And also know if you're not in the spectrum of needing those things, that you don't have to use them. There are things like, for me, it was just talking to somebody. It's not going to be the same for everybody. Maybe you do need to see a physician and all the things. But I also know that sometimes the medical system can fail us. There's not enough outreach for mental health. I mean, we're doing a lot better than we used to, but it's not always going to be what we need it to be in those moments that we need it. So I'm just cultivating a community where we uplift each other, we understand each other because we understand ourselves so deeply. What our wants, what our desires are. Like, when's the last time someone asked you what it is that you want? Unless it's me. I ask that all the time because I'm like, what do you want? And they're like, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? It's because no one asks you this question. Nobody asks you what you as the individual value in your lifetime. It may not look the same as everybody else. And it's actually none of our business anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm here because I want to express. I want others to be able to be fully self-expressed in whatever modality that is. I just happen to fall upon this sacred intimacy that has allowed me to skyrocket my transformation because I see how I do one thing is how I do other things. So it doesn't matter which area of life you pick. Maybe it's your health in nutrition or exercise or mental health, when you want to train your brain properly. Or maybe it's in relationships, or maybe it's with family, or maybe you're like a rescue team of some kind in like Bora Bora or like anywhere. It doesn't matter. The thing is, what matters to you matters to all, because it's a key piece, a puzzle, if you will, key puzzle piece in the bigger picture. There's some things that I do that don't really feel aligned, or they don't seem aligned from the outside, but I do them anyway because there's a code, there's something in that doing that or speaking about that thing that would resonate with someone, or that I have an aha moment during. Like I've had aha moments during workshops that I've done. It wasn't planned. It just happened, and it was absolutely needed in that moment for whoever was on that call. So my invitation is always to slow down, learn how to be in the present moment, however that works for you. Cultivate your senses, really get into the embodiment. The piece that's missing is that we don't slow down because we're too busy thinking, logically, analytically thinking about things, which we need, but that shouldn't be the driver of how we make decisions. It's like in my brain, this is a great example that I used to have. In my brain, I absolutely want to have sex with my partner. We're going to do this move that he wanted to try. Great. But my body is a total no. Because in my brain, oh, that's a great idea. It's going to make him happy. But my body is telling me now is not the time. We need to learn to honor those things. We need to learn to honor ourselves inside of that and what that looks like. So that's what I'm about. If any of these little goodies sound awesome or sound like intriguing to you, leave me some comments, let me know, and we'll get to the nitty-gritty. Again, I am all for suggestions, things that you're dealing like let's talk about it. Sometimes all it takes is just talking about it. I will never let you feel like you don't matter. I will always have an open space to feel safe to express in any way you see fit. And I just want to reach more people. So that's all I have. But just remember to like, share, subscribe, do the things, like whatever you need to do to get the message out. Because even though I may not even know what this is or how it'll be in 5 years from now, 10 years from now. But we got to start. We got to start somewhere. So this is real time, my experiences happening on the court. I'll be teaching other things, techniques and things to get over, things to help you. Like I had an anxiety attack last week, so I know I still have those things. It's crazy. And I was so grateful that I was able to pull myself out of there, not that I didn't need support, but it's like I can pull myself out to the point where I can reach out for help. Sometimes you're so deep in it that you can't even ask, you can't even speak. So I never want anyone to feel alone. I never want anyone to feel like they don't matter and that they can't get what they want. We're also going to learn how to give yourself permission to want what you want, because you wouldn't want it if it wasn't for you. This is a key piece. It's like you think you just have thoughts. No, these thoughts, these desires, this urge in your body is like, I want this for me. So yes, please go forth, enjoy your day, and remember that you matter. Remember that I'm always here to talk about racy subjects or some controversial subjects, because that's what I'm about. I'm a controversial person. I'm here to liberate you and expand your awareness of what's possible. I just love talking about sensuality and things because it gets me very connected to self and body. Love you. I'll see you later. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and be yourself. Okay, I'm out. Gonna go get my bedroom on.